Commissioner under investigation. And on the international scene, Israel has accused Iran of violating a ceasefire and has ordered a powerful strike on Tehran. Good morning, I'm Gavin Winters with the DBS Major Morning News. The details right after this.
Soft weave bathroom tissue, napkins, and paper towels are the perfect choice for your home. Manufactured with virgin fibers, it's the quality that you and your family deserve. New Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue is produced at high temperatures to remove microorganisms. It's pH controlled to protect your skin and produced with UV light disinfection to eliminate bacteria and viruses, providing maximum protection. Soft Weave, distributed by Fine Foods Inc. and sold island-wide. Soft Weave. Quality, affordability, manufactured with you in mind.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
DBS News.
Welcome back. First up in the news this morning, the Dominica Parliament will table legislation today to formally establish the Dominica Sperm Whale Reserve. The purposes of the Sperm Whale Reserve are to protect the marine ecosystem and living resources, particularly sperm whales and sperm whale habitats in the maritime zones of Dominica. Well, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says sperm whales are a critical part of Dominica's marine ecosystem.
The government of Dominica is proud to announce that legislation will be tabled in Parliament to formally establish the Dominica Sperm Whale Reserve. The legislation builds on the commitment first announced by the government in 2023 to designate a protected area off the west coast of Dominica, where our unique population of resident sperm whales has lived and thrived for years. These magnificent creatures, who are among the largest animals on Earth, are a critical part of our marine ecosystem. The creation of a sperm whale reserve is our way of addressing the mounting threats facing these endangered species, from noise pollution to ship strikes. Climate change and unsustainable fishing practices also pose a risk. The reserve will serve as a sanctuary that prioritizes marine biodiversity, regulates human activity, and ensures that Dominica continues to be a safe haven for sperm whales. The proposed legislation will introduce a comprehensive management framework for the reserve, including clearly defined navigation tools and oversight mechanisms to ensure responsible use of the designated area. It will also safeguard the livelihoods of local fishers by preserving traditional fishing practices and ensuring that their voices are included in the reserve's long-term management. Furthermore, the Sperm Whale Reserve is expected to significantly enhance Dominica's position as a premier destination for ecotourism. By promoting low-impact, high-value marine tourism, such as whale watching, scientific research, and educational exchanges, we aim to increase economic opportunities for coastal communities while reinforcing our image as the nature isle of the Caribbean.
And that was Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. Minister for Culture and Community Development Greta Roberts says a contractor has been engaged for the completion of the Arawak House of Culture project. The facility was destroyed during the passage of Hurricane Maria in 2017. Roberts says the completion of the project will include internal works and painting of the building.
The Ministry of Culture Youth Sports and Community Development is working assiduously to ensure the completion of the Arawak House of Culture. Recently, the Electrical Division conducted an assessment of the electrical works and made some recommendations. We have engaged a contractor and works are expected to be completed within 2 to 3 weeks. Once this is done, we will proceed with the installation of ceiling tiles, air conditioning checks, along with sound and stage lighting. We are now in the process of doing a general cleanup of the entire facility in preparation for the installation of floor carpeting and the seats. The repainting of the building will be done simultaneously with the internal works just mentioned. So far we are progressing satisfactorily and we look forward to the timely completion of this long-awaited project. I want to take this opportunity to thank the Dominican public for their patience.
Minister for Culture and Community Development, Greta Roberts. A police officer has been granted bail in the sum of $30,000 after appearing before a Rojo magistrate on 2 charges of illegal drug possession and trafficking. Durrell Etienne of Point Carib now faces a criminal trial after pleading not guilty to both offenses. Ronaldo Luke Pascal reports.
According to the complaint, it is alleged that on June 20th, 2025, Etienne had in his possession 1,100 grams of cocaine at Point Carib. The second complaint further alleges that on the aforementioned date, the police officer did engage in drug trafficking by having in his possession 1,100 grams of cocaine with intent to supply the drugs to another. During his court appearance, the accused elected to have a summary trial at the magistrate's court and entered a plea of not guilty to both charges. His legal team, represented by attorneys Gina Abraham Thomas and Wayne Norde, formally applied for bail on his behalf. In her application to the court, Abraham Thomas relied on Section 6 of the Bail Act, highlighting that there was no evidence to suggest that Etienne should be denied bail. Specifically, she pointed out that subsection B of the Bail Act outlines circumstances where bail may be denied, such as threat to public safety, risk of flight, or risk of obstructing justice. However, she argued that none of these circumstances applied to her client. The defense attorney assured the court that Etienne would comply with the conditions of bail, noting that he had no intention of committing further offenses whilst on bail or interfering with any of the witnesses. The attorney further emphasized that the accused would surrender to the court when required to do so and would not pose a threat to the public or administration of justice. Abraham Thomas further averred that in the event of any doubt, the court could impose specific conditions to ensure Etienne's attendance at the subsequent hearing and maintain public order during the case. State Attorney Fanelia Felix Frederick, representing the prosecution, acknowledged that pursuant to Section 6 of the Bail Act, there was no evidence at this stage to justify the denial of bail to Etienne. She further noted that Section 7 of the Bail Act had been satisfied and the prosecution had no objection to bail but requested that it be granted with proper surety. Following an assessment of the proposed surety, the accused's father, Pius Edwin Etienne, was deemed fit and proper to stand bail for his son. As a result, Magistrate Michael Loda granted Etienne's bail in the sum of $30,000 with 5 conditions attached. The accused was ordered to surrender his travel documents to the court by 9 a.m. on June 24, 2025. He is further required to seek permission from the court at least 72 hours in advance if he wishes to leave the country during the case proceedings. Additionally, Etienne was ordered to live an honest and industrious life whilst on bail and report to the Grand Bay Police Station once a week. He was further ordered to surrender to the Grand Bay Magistrate Court on September 1, 2025 for the commencement of the trial, as well as any other date set by the court throughout the course of the proceedings. The magistrate cautioned that failure to comply with any of these conditions would result in the revocation of bail. Ronaldo Luke Pascal reporting for DBS News.
Meantime, a prison officer was charged recently. More from Ronaldo Luke Pascal.
It is alleged that on June 12, 2025, Michael Peters of Benjamin Lane, Goodwill, a prison officer at the Dominica State Prison, unlawfully provided certain prohibited items to Alexis Roberts, also known as Michael McGlaw, a prisoner. The items included one TCL cell phone, 2 power banks, and 1 pair of black handle scissors, items which are prohibited under the prison's regulation and were brought into the facility without approval from the superintendent of the Dominica State Prison. The accused pleaded not guilty to the charge at his appearance at court, and the prosecution did not object to bail. Magistrate Michael Loda granted bail to Peters in the sum of $5,000 with Haynes Peters as surety. As part of his bail conditions, Peters was ordered to surrender to the jurisdiction of the court on September 23, 2025 at 9 a.m. and any other date set by the court to answer to the charge. He was further ordered to surrender all his travel documents to the magistrate court on June 17, 2025 at 9 a.m. He must refrain from leaving the state without obtaining permission from the court at least 72 hours in advance and report to the Roseau Police Station every Monday. Ronaldo Luke Pascal reporting for DBS News.
In some more news this morning, Walson Paquette Jr. copped 9 subject awards as he was named the valedictorian of the Pierre Charles Secondary School class of 2025. The Pierre Charles Secondary School had its commencement ceremony last week under the theme, "Education is our passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today." Paquette also received the award for top performer of his class, a top science award, and top chess player award. 31 students form part of the 2025 graduation class with 2 honors, 6 merits, and 23 passes. Sarita Henry, she was named the salutatorian. She copped 4 subject awards along with the top performer of her class award. In some more news this morning, Minister of State in the Ministry of Youth and Culture, Senator Oscar George, says the youth of Dominica play a key role in preserving the country's traditions and culture. His remarks came during the official launch of the Youth Development Division 2025 National Summer Day Camp yesterday. The camp is a national initiative which is being held in collaboration with the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Environment.
These programs represent a vibrant initiative that brings together learning, creativity, and growth during the summer break. And certainly this program will serve as a solution to a very popular question being asked every year by our parents: where do I put my child? Where do I put my students? Education mentors, youth officers, cultural officers, and other community leaders are expected to administer the camp sessions at various locations. We believe that by involving all of the various players, our children can be provided with a structured, fun environment where they can grow intellectually, socially, and emotionally during their summer break, away from the usual peers and digital distractions. Additionally, the Division of Culture will be offering summer initiatives in creative arts targeting young people. The intention is to build cultural capacity among our nation's youth to ensure that our culture and traditions are preserved and maintained.
And that was Minister of State in the Ministry of Youth and Culture, Senator Oscar George. Merita Hyacinth is the Chief Youth Development Officer.
The National Summer Day Camp 2025 is more than just a summer activity. Yes, it will be fun. It is a national youth empowerment program and a space where community, civics, creativity, and culture come together to build confidence, nurture identity, and develop leadership. So this camp will run from July 14th to August 15th. And the camp will serve children from the ages of 5 to 12 in 20 communities across the 21 constituencies. We expect to welcome our children island-wide into a safe, structured, and inspiring space. And this work will be made possible by utilizing over 100 student volunteers serving as junior leaders and role models, over 100 NEP education mentors and cooks bringing guidance and support, our youth officer, the administrative staff, and coordinators managing the day-to-day operations. We have had a meeting with our principals, and the principals have already been briefed and we are currently conducting a thorough physical and logistical assessment of each site to ensure that all camp locations are fully ready to host our children in a clean, safe, and well-equipped environment.
And that's the Chief Youth Development Officer, Merita Hyacinth. In news from the region this morning, Trinidad's Deputy Commissioner of Police, Suzette Martin, is now the subject of a police investigation. The newly appointed Police Commissioner, Alistair Guevara, told a news conference yesterday that while Martin remains in her post, the police are investigating a matter in which a report had been submitted by a firearms dealer on the 18th of June. Guevara says that the decision to remove the Deputy Commissioner or send her on administrative leave remains within the purview of the Police Service Commission, which has been apprised of the report and the investigation. He said that the probe is linked to Martin's involvement in the 2022 arrest of firearms dealer and trainer Brent Thomas in Barbados. And on the international scene, Israel's Defense Minister Israel Katz has accused Iran of violating the ceasefire 2 hours after agreeing to the deal brokered by U.S. President Donald Trump and Qatar. Well, Iran has denied firing missiles at Israel after the ceasefire began. Israel is vowing to respond forcefully to Iran's violation of the ceasefire with intense strikes against regime targets in the heart of Tehran. While Iran's Security Council has warned that any further aggression will be met with a decisive, firm and timely response. Tehran earlier said that it would respect the ceasefire if Israel did the same. But that's the news. Let's recap the headlines. Parliament to meet today to table legislation to formally establish the Dominica Sperm Whale Reserve. Trinidad's Deputy Police Commissioner under investigation, and Israel has accused Iran of violating the ceasefire and orders powerful strikes on Tehran. That's the news. Stay tuned for sports.
Are you tired of having the same boring breakfast every morning? Well, Monflake Oats is the healthy and perfect solution just for you. Make your breakfast exciting by adding Monflakes to your pancakes, parfait, or even milkshake. Monflake can be found in different sizes and available in granola, such as Caribbean or Hawaiian. Stop worrying about what to prepare for your breakfast, dessert, snack, or even dinner. Monflake is the best addition to your meal. Grab yourself a bag today.
Locally distributed by Fine Foods Inc. and available island-wide.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Just Mobank me. Here's my ID.
Just Mobank me. It's that easy.
The faster, easier way to bank. NBD makes it easy. easy to bank online, anywhere, at any time with Mo Banking, the faster, easier way to bank.
The faster, easier way.
So transfer funds on Mo Banking.
The faster, easier way.
To pay your bills with Mo Banking.
The faster, easier way.
So order checks on Mo Banking.
The faster, easier
Pay employees
way.
on Mo Banking.
The faster, easier way to bank.
Plus, you can now top up your phone on Mo Banking. No need for cash or card. Simply log into Mo Banking to top up your phone. Visit nbdominica.com or follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more details.
The faster, easier way to bank.
NBD.
Your partner, your bank.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Well, welcome to the Morning Sports. Let's bowl off with cricket news. Former cricket administrator Felix Gregoire has taken issue with statements from the West Indies head coach Darren Sammy that there is no role right now for Kavem Hodge and Alec Athanaze on the West Indies test team. Well, the two players, despite being the leading run getters for the West Indies in 2024, were dropped and they're not part of the West Indies team for the series against Australia, which starts tomorrow. Gregoire says that Sammy's statements are without merit.
I cannot think of anybody has batted better than Athanaze and Hodge at the test level. So how they deserve to be dropped from the team? I heard the manager talking about rules, and to me that is pure nonsense. That rule business in test cricket or any cricket is nonsense. If you are a batter, you're a bowler, you know what to do. So that business of rules determining who makes the team is nonsense. And even if that was a criteria or criterion, how Athanaze and Hodge could not play a role in that present West Indies team? I think that action by the selectors or whoever, that should be condemned because it is pure injustice to those two players. And all I can say is to advise those players to remain positive because they will get back on the West Indies team when sense prevails.
And that's the former cricket administrator Felix Gregoire. West Indies head coach Darren Sammy feels that confidence is high as they head into the first test match against Australia tomorrow. His comments following the West Indies training camp, which concluded on the weekend. Sammy says that the guys have responded well to the camp.
We started on the 11th, the energy, the effort the guys have put in. It is one phrase I always use for them: you don't need talent to give off effort, and the effort and the attention to detail that's been going on in the camp. You know, we know Australia, you know, is a team we've not won in the Caribbean, I think, since 1991. So we know what challenges that we face, but we went home, we went in their backyard and drew a series. And it's a culture we're trying to build to make home our fortress. So what I've seen over the last 10 days, 11 days here at the camp tells me that we will be ready. We are ready for the first test at Kensington.
And that's the West Indies head coach Darren Sammy. Well, Sammy says while Australia will be without Steve Smith for the first test, the Australians have a number of other good players.
So Australia, whether with Steve Smith, obviously they're really strong, but without him they're equally capable of winning test matches. You know, the system has shown and proven over the last decade that they're one of the top teams in the world, and that's why I'm in the number one for a reason. So for us now is to fine-tune and focus on the areas that we have to do. When we looked at the last test championships, the stuff that we did, and just moving forward into this test championship cycle and building for the future. We too have a brand that we want to play, and the roles that we have selected to be executed, and the personnel rather to go out there and do well. We're confident we wouldn't be here and we wouldn't train the way we train, plan the way we plan, if we were not confident that we could go out and win cricket matches. And that's what it's all about, building that culture, being clear, communicate well, and having that confidence, because you will need all of that to play when you compete against the top teams in the world, and that's what we're looking to do.
West Indies head coach Darren Sammy. Meantime, Australian batsman Sam Constance is hoping to make his mark on the upcoming series against the West Indies. The 19-year-old is about to play in just his third test match. Constance is part of the new-look Australian batting order for the series.
Yeah, very excited. Obviously, it's a tough team to crack in, and we've got legends of the game in that team. So, no, very excited for the opportunity, and yeah, hopefully grab it with both hands. I feel like I got trust people that I work with, and they understand my game. I'm not trying to prove to anyone how I'm going to play. I just want to be myself and obviously understand when to take on the game, when to soak up the pressure, and yeah, win games for Australia. It's a dream come true, to be honest. 19 years old, playing for your country, travelling the world, getting to experience different cultures and versus the best players as well. So, no, I'm very lucky to be where I am currently.
The Australian batsman Sam Constance. Well, let's move further afield to Lords as we're monitoring proceedings in the fifth day of the first test match between England and India. Well, England, they're off to a very good start as they are chasing 371 for victory against India. England a short while ago were 88 without loss, with Zach Crowley not out on 32 and Ben Duckett unbeaten on 50. The two sharing an 88-run partnership for the first wicket. Just a quick recap. Remember, yesterday, India, they were bowled out for 364 with Pant getting 118, his second century of the match, and KL Rahul 137. So, England, they are chasing 371 to win. They're currently 88 without loss. The scores so far in this game is India 471 and 364. England 465 and 88 without loss. England needs 283 more runs for victory. Still of cricket news this morning, Hayley Matthews put in another solid performance with the bat and ball to lead the West Indies women to a series-clinching 6-wicket win over South Africa in the third T20 yesterday in Barbados. Well, South Africa batted first. They got to 147 for 6 in their 20 overs. Mayane Smith got 69 not out. Afi Fletcher picked up 2 for 28. Karishma Ramnarak 2 for 18 and Hayley Matthews 1 for 26. While the West Indies got 148 for 4 in 18.3 overs, with Hayley Matthews getting 65 and Charmaine Campbell getting 42. The West Indies won the game by 6 wickets, and they've also won the 3-match series 2-1. Hayley Matthews was the player of the match and the player of the series. Staying with cricket news this morning, as Izu Lukati Bombers picked up an impressive 8-wicket win over the Siniku Red Force as the KPL T20 League continued on the weekend in the Kalinago territory. Well, Aidan Burton got an impressive half-century as the Bombers chased down a target of over 190 runs with ease.
Siniku Red Force won the toss and elected to bat first. Red Force scored 197 in their 20 overs. Rick James scoring 40, Lawrence Wiltshire 39, Dylan John 18, and Yakim John Baptist 16. Bowling for Easy Lukati Bombers, Kellen Christmas 3 wickets for 20 runs, Mario Lucian 2 for 41. Needing 198 for victory, Easy Lukati Bombers cruised victory, scoring 201 for 2 in 18 overs. Aidan Burton top scoring with 70, while Lee Fontaine 65, Ray Casimir contributing 39, and Wayne Ogis 24. Sebastian Brumant and Kenny Valmont took 1 wicket each. So the final scores, Red Force 197 for 7 and Bombers 201 for 2. In match number 2, we had the Concord Super Kings versus Atkinson and Thistle Dynamic Stars. Super Kings won the toss and elected to bat first and could only muster 79 runs. Lyndon Williams top scored with 33 not out. Bowling for Atkinson, we had Anthony Duran took 3 wickets for 14 runs. Needing 80 runs for victory, Atkinson Dynamic Stars easily reached their target without losing a wicket in 8 overs. Jerry Ogis on 22 and Alex Laron on 19.
and that's league coordinator Alexander Burton. Meantime, Central Centipede went down to Gullet River, Maho River Strikers. We had Delani Alexander taking 4 wickets as the Central Centipede were bowled out for just 39 runs in their pursuit of 153 in 15 overs. And the defending champions, Point Ridge Thunder Kings, they got past the BA Grinders by 8 wickets. Finally, in some track and field news this morning, 2 national youth records were set at the National Juvenile Track and Field Championships on the weekend. Over 120 athletes from 9 affiliates competed at the 79 events of the track and field meet, which was organized by the Dominica Athletics Association. That meet took place at the Geneva playing field. We had Dahlia Geist of the Dominica Grammar School setting a new record in the under 15 girls 80-meter hurdle event. She clocked a time of 15.3 seconds. And Antoine Lewis, also of the Dominica Grammar School, set a new record in the under 15 boys 1,200-meter event, running a time of 4 minutes 52.2 seconds. There were also some good performances from some other athletes, as we had athletes from the Aspirers Athletics Club taking top honors in the girls and boys under 15 division. Shanice Frank of the Aspirers Athletics Club was the top girl with 44 points. Jaya Moranci, also of Aspirers, was second, and Dyla Geist of the Dominica Grammar School was third. In the boys under 15 division, Delani George of the Aspirers Club was top with 46 points. Antoine Lewis of the Dominica Grammar School was second, and Daniel Thomas of Westmore Rangers third. We also had Reynald Frank of the Aspirers Club topping the under 13 boys division, with Gijanik Didi of Westmore Rangers the top under 13 girl, and Anel Edwards of Aspirers was the top under 11 boy, with Karaya Bedminster the top under 11 girl. There's also competition in the under 9 boys and under 7 boys and girls divisions as well. Well, congratulations to all of the athletes who did well on the weekend. That's the DBS Morning News and Sports. Of course, more sporting highlights for you throughout the course of the day. Remember, there's Parliament as well. That starts at 10 o'clock and will be carried live on all the frequencies of DBS Radio and our social media pages as well. Well, that's News and Sports. On behalf of the entire News and Sports Department, I'm Gavin Richards saying good morning.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Just Mobank me. Here's my ID.
Just Mobank me. It's that easy.
The faster, easier way to bank.
NBD makes it easy to bank online, anywhere, at any time. With Mobanking, the faster, easier way to bank.
The faster, easier way.
So transfer funds on Mobanking.
The faster, easier way.
To pay your bills with Mobanking.
The faster, easier way.
So order checks on Mobanking.
The faster, easier
Pay employees
way.
on Mobanking.
The faster, easier way to bank.
Plus, you can now top up your phone on Mobanking. No need for cash or card. Simply log into Mobanking to top up your phone. Visit nbdominica.com or follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more details.
The faster, easier way to bank.
NBD.
Your partner, your bank.
The time complements Auto Trade. It is 26 minutes to 8 o'clock. A Valvoline pit stop rolls into Portsmouth from June 27th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. This is happening at Auto Trade. It is now time to bring you this morning's presentation of the weather report, brought to you through the kind contribution of Big Edge Financial and Flow And at this time, we say good morning to Karen Basil Lawrence.
Good morning. The weather report from the Dominica Meteorological Service at the Douglas Charles Airport for today, Tuesday, June the 24th, recorded at 7 a.m. Today, the weather is expected to be mostly cloudy